Hello and welcome to University. Well, UKVersus. I'm just not in the headspace and all this. So I've given, so I've given Cameron the night off, and I did ask around if people wanted to come on, and the same things kind of happen to every single person. They've just hit the wall of apathy or depression or just absolute not caringness. Now, I know that one of my guests should be coming on, and hopefully other people will come on. But generally, this is just an open invite. If anyone wants to jump on to the call and have a chat with me, I'm going to be here. If you have a quick cough, so just give me a second. So yeah, so cool. There, just on the way. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the FAQ and how it kind of just sucks. So for everyone who's unaware, on Halloween, UVS dropped a OP roadmap, and we were told local it was going to be streamlined, it was going to be sleek, it was going to be a system that was created from the player feedback. Local play was going to get more local play was going to remain the same. People were going to get have their local play, they were going to get their play packs, and it was going to be overall a good thing. Local championships were going to be more selective. They weren't going to every single star wasn't going to have a star championship, and we're no longer hunting for points. We were hunting for actual invites. And then we got, and so they're going to be more selective, and this is how you get your world invites. And there was even 12 vouchers on the line to get there. And then we got the big one, which was regionals. And Levi comes on. Now, one thing I've said here, I'm not having a go at Levi at any point throughout here, but Levi's the person in the video, so when I'm quoting and I'm talking about what happened, I'm going to be mentioning Levi's name, but I hold no ill will towards Levi or Josh or any of the OP team. So, we then got the regionals announcement from Levi, and he was just hyping up these celebrations of the game, and they sounded amazing. They sounded better than what Josh promised last time, and they had already tried to trial panels. They're not UK nationals last year. They tried to do a panel that didn't quite work out because it wasn't very well thought out long term, and the signings, the exclusives, everything like that, I was really hyped for it. But last week I mentioned, how are they going to actually pull this off, kind of thing? And then we find out this week that the UK, the EU, the Oceania don't get anything, and it hit everyone hard. And this is absolutely great time to introduce multiple regional winner, long time player, and one of the most disappointed people with this decision, Mike Kahneman. How are you doing?
Numb, depressed, disappointed, angry, all the emotions.
Yeah. It does absolutely suck. And I get where we've got a technically a UK Discord where we play webcam, and we've got people like Michael Murray, and they are correct. Yeah, we can. We don't. This doesn't have to be the death of the game in the UK. It just has to be the death of our support of UVS. We can still play the game. We can print proxies. We can do like community events. But it does suck because I mean the same thing happened with webcam. Webcam died, and we were told the same thing. Oh, just put on community events, and they don't hold the same draw. The game isn't going to grow without official support. So, I get where some of the people are coming across. I know that it's just 1 year, and we've done it before in 2021, where the US was getting events and we got one nationals. But I thought we were past this.
Yeah, it's all well and good saying that we can do this, we can do that, but there's no goal at the end of it. There's no nothing. Like there's no real incentive to play the game, to support the game. Like what I've spent so much money over the years on this game. Like I don't even want to fathom how much money I have spent put into this game and traveling for this game and supporting this game and the time I've put into this game. You think of something, I've probably done it. I've judged, I've ran events, I've organized events, I have been a playtester for the company in many years gone by. I have helped out with company streams during COVID. I have entered online events, I've entered in-person events, I've, worked with Jasco as they were to try and grow the game in whatever ways we could. And I just don't see a reason right now to do any of that going forward. Do anything. Because they've clearly shown that they don't care about international players in the slightest with this. Which we always kind of knew that, we were second fiddle. But that's fine. I'm not even asking for these celebrations that they talked about in the video with like voice actors and artists and panels and all this marvel stuff, because I'm a realist. I understand that costs a lot of money, and for a smaller region it's not it's not financially reasonable to try and do something like that. I don't even know how to word anything right now. I just want them to give me a reason to care about the game. I just spent nearly £1,000 on Riftbound, and now I don't want to do anything with that either because it's associated with UVS Games. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with anything. I just feel really numb, and a little bit betrayed with not only the way they went about it, but the fact that they did it after all of this, like celebrating that they've done recently about the first Spanish regional and all this and that, and then it's just the case of next year, you get nothing. You get a glorified locals that maybe you don't even get. But hey, at least you still have a chance to go to Worlds.
Yeah, yeah. When everyone read it, it was like, oh yeah, our peak's gonna be local championship, but you still get your world's invite, but you don't get the regionals promos or the chance to be a part of the game with backups or the specialized sleeves and deck box and playmats localized to every event. Like the way regionals were hyped up. For me, I focused on the celebration. It's something I've always wanted in this game. I've wanted our regionals to feel like conventions, to feel like a celebration of the IPs, because it will bring non-players in. It will grow the game if it feels like a celebration, because fans of the IPs, like Critical Role fans, will come, and if we can put demos on, if we can get them in, we can help out. And yeah, I spoke to the more after, like, literally I think November 1st I was speaking with November 2nd I was speaking with Sean, and I literally went, do you want me to reach out to Critical Role Ice in the UK, because I've messaged them all and see if they want to do regionals, because UVS are going to struggle, like you said. It's expensive for them to do stuff like that. They're not going to fly out Guy and Lucas and Lachar, but we have people that have done art in the UK. So we were already working with Erin to have artists come to our events. We were already like preempting our regionals announcements, and then we get hit with the, oh yeah, you guys just don't get them. It's like, oh, cool, but we we could still do it. We could do it for local championships, but it without the actual pageantry and stuff like that, it's not the same. A local championship
Well,
does not equate.
a local championship really does not equate. Like we've had those all year this year, and no one like you're not gonna get the Scots come down to like Sheffield for the price support that's there. You're not gonna have people travel up. I'm not gonna travel. I've traveled around for local championships because I enjoy the game and I enjoy the people.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna travel around if that's the all there is. Like, it's just not worth it, and I'm not gonna waste my time, money, or energy to do it.
It's a weird one because under the point system, like where the top few point earners got flown out by UVS, you did. You travelled around the country. You went like to the top of England. You went to the bottom of England. You travelled around doing multiple events to make sure you were the top point earner and you got like all the benefits. But it sounds like you're less motivated to do it with the new system.
Yeah, I mean, like, I I'm trying to be respectful,
That's
and
my job. You're the guest. Go nuts.
no, I this is the second year in a row where I am number one in points on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Right, I have clearly grind this game. I have traveled a dozen internationally over a dozen times for this game, and why I don't know why I should play this game. Why should I bother going to Worlds this year?
Yeah.
Why should I like if I wasn't already committed for Glasgow with the two different gig tickets and the apartment, like the house that we've rented and things and all that sort of stuff, I'd have cancelled going because it's really put a downer on everything for what I was really looking forward to.
Yeah.
And it's like you saw me, you saw the messages the moment that the original regional announcement came out. I was incredibly hype.
You love
I was
backups. You
incredibly
you yeah,
excited.
you absolutely love backups. Of course you wouldn't be one.
Take that away, take that away, take
Yeah.
that away. I have been begging for things like event exclusive
Mm.
sleeves and deck
Yes.
boxes for a long time, and then they go, "Oh yeah, you're getting it." And then there was like the little bit like, sure, the $150 travel voucher. I don't cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't care about that though. I care about the stuff and the cool things you can get and the great times you can have.
Yeah.
And
It's a kind of like a
you get none
breakdown.
of
It's kind of a breakdown understanding the player bases. We don't drop from Swiss. We play all our games. We want the community aspect and the personalized sleeps to events, the specific ones will hold the memories of the events, the interactions, the time you had with friends, and that's why we go. Kind of like the opposite from you this year. I've not played. I've not traveled for local championships. I've not traveled for regionals outside of the summit. I've kind of taken this year to readdress what kind of competitive player I want to be. And then it got towards the end of the year, and I just turned to everyone and go, I want to go Glasgow. And like, we literally was like, we just bought a house, we can't afford it. And then trading post go, yeah, we've got space in the hotel. You can jump in one of their rooms if you don't mind sharing. I was like, that's absolutely amazing. And so I got the flights, gonna be sharing with those guys, and then I was hyped because not to play the game, but to see everyone and to see the people I haven't seen since January, February, to play the game with the people in the community. The community make this game, and now it's going to be a somber event. It's going to be, as people said, a funeral for universes.
yeah, and it's sad, like, because it should be like it's gonna be the biggest event outside of the US this year. That's already happening with the number of players that signed up. I know there's more people that are signing up that haven't signed up yet. So it's gonna be a good size event outside of the US. The biggest one outside of the US this year. It's gonna be and it should be a celebration. It should be fun. It should be exciting. It should be great. And it doesn't feel like it's going to be any of that. Feels like to me, it feels like a chore, and I'm sure it does for other people as well. And I don't know. I don't even really have the words.
Yeah, this was the issue. This is why Connor didn't jump on. This is why Magic Richard hasn't jumped on. It's because everyone's just feeling kind of melancholic and numb about the entire situation 3 days on. But I get what I've not even signed up for the event yet. And I'm like, do I even bother? I can just spend Swiss chatting with Card Goblin, chatting with Patriot, chatting with people, having fun that way. But I also want to support Sean because he's done so much, and even if it's just for the event, it's like supporting Sean. Uh, would it have been better if all the information dropped at once? Like, I know they wouldn't put it in the video because it's not hype. It's not a good thing, so it wouldn't go in the video. It wouldn't go into their roadmap and go.
No,
Yeah. But if
no.
if the FAQ, if the article, if all this information had dropped at the same time, and it wasn't just a vague answer of, "Oh yeah, your highest organized play thing is going to be local championship." If they actually went into some kind of explanation and addressed it properly, would that have been better?
No. Like there is no making it better because all it's doing is saying that two international players, and let's not forget that it's not just us.
No.
This is OCE as well, and I know it's not as difficult for them, but it's still difficult. This is players like the Canadian players who just finally had their first regional this year, and they're just let me think. They're just saying that everyone else, apart from players in the United States of America, are lesser than.
Hmm.
And if you want your game to exist and grow, you can't do that. Hell, you can say whatever you want about the size of the games and things like that. Grand Archive has about 2 stores in this country that support the game, and they have regionals, and their regional pricing is relatively on par with what what the US players are getting next year.
Yeah. I mean,
And
Keyforge, a game that I played a while back, is absolutely tiny now here. But they've just had nationals and they've got international events. They've got events in mainland Europe and they've just had worlds. And people have traveled for it because people are passionate about the game. It's, from what I know, smaller in the UK than universities is now, but the pricing is kept up with what they've got in America.
um and that's the way it should be. Like we don't necessarily like why do we need like in terms of cost and everything, why do we need a UVS Games employee flying out to the event?
Stream.
Okay.
That's
So you have like we have a TO in the UK that runs all of the events for them. Why not just buy a camera, a stream setup?
oh
Then that's a one-off cost. You don't have to ship out, you don't have to fly someone out. You save so much money in the long run. One thing done, set the stream up, good to go.
here's the thing though, and this is what's been getting me about it is I went to the summit in May, and one of the things I brought up at the summit was it would be good if the international events had the same pageantry as NA events. If we had the player interviews, the on-site casters, like you had the same kind of vibe, the same kind of feel, and the UVS staff that were at the summit agreed with me and were saying we have plans, we have stuff in the works for this, and that is what's thrown me for a loop here. Is 4 months ago I was told, ah yes, the organized play for 2026 we're gonna be improving our international play relations, and then it's been a massive 180, and I don't see why they'd lie to me at the summit just to do this. The summit has gone on in the background, and whether they can't talk about it, whether they won't talk about it, doesn't matter to us as players. We get the right to feel our
Well,
emotions.
I mean, it's been 3 days and they've said nothing, so I don't expect them to say anything.
I mean, they are technically closed. It's the same thing they did with
I think
organized
they just
play.
hope that it goes away.
It's it's the same thing they do with organized play though. They dropped it at the end of the workday and then disappeared, and they're not back in the offices till Tuesday. And yeah, they're hoping that essentially it blows over
So, sure,
because we.
sure, sure.
Hmm? You okay?
But like, I'm not saying this in regards to Guile or anything like that.
Yeah.
No heat on Guile. But after this announcement, Guile has been in the Discord. I know he's the front facing person of the company. Nothing on him. He's great. He does the best he can. But he's been in the Discord and interacting with people, but nothing has been said relating to this problem. And I'm not saying that should be that is
Yeah.
not on Guile. Guile should not have to say anything about it. But someone with actual stake in the company should have said anything,
Well,
not just
they
being
did say one thing, didn't
silent. Uh,
they set up the ask me anything thing where we can pose questions that will get answered at some point.
they shouldn't need to be in. They shouldn't need to be in Ask Me Anything.
No, they should have
The
known.
information should be there. You've released an FAQ, and then there is still an Ask Me Anything about the FAQ. The FAQ should answer all the questions you
Yeah,
need, and it
it's
shouldn't make people quit the game.
they must have known this was going to be the backlash. It's such a weird decision to do, and we've been talking on the main Discord over the last few days, like you said, and people have been there. But yeah, Guile is part of the community liaison team. He's not organized play. He isn't going to be able to answer our questions and stuff like this. And I mean, Guile does a lot of work on his days off anyway when he's not really supposed to be. So maybe he is just trying to get a better work life balance because the guy even works
Yeah,
when he's
and
on
I understand that.
vacation.
Yeah, that's not. As I say, that's not the issue. That's not the issue in the slightest. As I say, nothing on Guile, all on them in general. Is the they're not they haven't given they dropped this, they stealth dropped this initially, let it ride, give no information, no nothing, and expect people to be okay with it, and then go radio silent.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like a big announcement until like the Ask Me Anything thing was done. We were talking about it a good 10, 20 minutes before the actual announcement dropped because I
Oh,
just
it was longer than that.
I just watched the UVS website, which does look very nice with the updates for all this kind of information. But even if by some miracle they announce something that keeps us around as players, the stars are going to drop it with no support and no reason for us to play in the stars. The stars, especially in Oceania, like you said, it's not just us, are going to drop it. And then when they try to come back out here, the stars are not going to trust them.
Yeah, I mean, like, and not necessarily that stars are going to drop it anyway, because it's not like you know, they've got some good stuff coming out next year.
Yeah.
And I imagine some players would still play anyway. You know, not everybody is a competitive player or travels and everything for the game. There are those that are more casual. But if all of those groups are more competitive, don't play the game as much, or they don't buy product as much, then the stores that do support the game quite a lot are going to be buying less, which means people like Bliss are going to order in less, which means that at the end of the day, it's going to hit the bottom line of the game.
It's also the community aspect of it. If like you stop playing it and Steve stops playing it, and like the people I interact with the game stop playing it, and I don't have the same back and forth, I have the same people to talk to about the game, then why am I playing it for? Yeah, I can play against random people online, but I don't have a star to go and play with people. I experience this community through online gaming, which is already like on its last legs, and through my friends I made for the game. And if they're not around, there's no reason for me to be around.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
I mean,
Yeah, Lone, 100%. Like, keep playing. Ask your LGS to keep stocking it.
yeah, they can't see
keep
chat
buying,
on.
keep
They
buying.
can't. The chat can't see it on him. But yeah, Lone Night Coast was basically they're going to keep playing in. Murray said the same thing. He's going to keep playing. He's going to be still around. If people want to throw down cards, he will do. And uh, is that what the company's banking on? That we will just kind of persevere through this year? And I mean,
I'll be honest. I don't think the company's thought about it, and I'm gonna stick with that until we hear from Josh. Like, he is the organized play manager. Like, why is like until I hear something from him, he is not like it's on him. Where it's like he's done this. He's clearly doesn't care about international, and until I hear something otherwise, I
yeah,
want to know. Like,
yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for an answer.
We need
I will say,
one of the big names at UVS, Josh or even Paul themselves, to just come and explain the situation in not legal terms, in layman's terms that any player will understand. Because the answer they put out there was so corporate on there that Corin didn't understand that we weren't getting regionals. He thought that it meant that we might still see some, and because it was so vaguely worded that yeah, it was confusing for some players. And Corin was in the Discord yesterday basically saying it doesn't say that. It's like, no, it does say that. We had to kind of like break it down in his corporate speak. So we're not kids here. We're not a bunch of adolescents or like younger people. We're the majority of our play base is middle-aged adults who know what the real world implications of this kind of stuff is, and we understand what's going on in America with the tariffs and the import taxes and stuff like that. So you can tell us what's going out in there. You can explain what's going on and just go, yeah, it's a rough year. We and just go, can you bear with us? Like, if they just come to us with sincerity, we may have been able to understand. But to stealth drop it, to disrespect the wider country's play bases, is what has hurt a lot of people.
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I knew about this a few hours earlier than most people, and I kind of had a bit of a moment, and I messaged Paul, and I'm like, look, congratulations, you've done something no other company could ever do. You've made me quit this game after nearly 20 years. Good job.
I got shouted at for that. By the way, I had
so well.
I had someone going, "Stop messaging Paul." It wasn't me for once. It wasn't me.
I'll stand by it. I'll stand by it. He's messaged me random stuff. I'm gonna message him.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that's always been.
I didn't get a response, but he sure did read it.
But it's one of the things that that the company's been good with. We've been able to chat with the CEO, the CFO, the head of products, the head of OP, and the head of design. We're able to have a dialogue with them, and just like you said, over the last 3 days, or hell, even over the last like 2 weeks, maybe even longer, it's just guile. Everyone else is kind of not responding unless you've got a pre-existing relationship. Like I've been talking with Hitch about Dispatch, but it's Connor's kind of way of thinking. And yeah, as Connor's saying in there, when I bought my first UFS products, I was really surprised to see Jason's phone number on there where you could ring up if you had any issues. So it's been one of the great things about this company that if I had an issue, that I felt really interesting. Or if I wanted to like do stuff, I could contact Paul. When I went to do my Riftbound release event, I took pictures of it and sent it to Paul. And there's 12 people here. They play Magic, they play Pokemon, and they all really enjoy Riftbound. And I got a message back from him just saying, "Love to see it." Like, cool, yeah. I don't expect like a huge thing back from him, but it's great that we can have that kind of open dialogue with the high up in companies. It's something you don't get in any other game, and we're not seeing it at the minute. We're seeing closed doors and almost a void of communication.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like in regards to the messaging pub, I do kind of, I kind of walked back a little bit on what I said to him now. Now that I've had a chance to, um, stress over it for a few days, but I'm now huffing a lot of copium and hoping that something good comes of all of this. And that's not just my bank account increasing by not spending money on the game.
Well, that best question to ask here then is, what good could UVS do?
That is the $1 million question. What could they do? What should they do?
Well, let's go through some like we'll try and think of some things off the top of my head. Why did they just scrap the naming convention altogether? There was no regionals, there was no LCQs, LLCs. It was just Universus events and the pricing, like stuff like that.
We had this discussion separately already. I don't think the naming convention matters. Like I said to you, you could call it Mike's a dick for all I care. I want that major event. I want that, that tier, that high level competition with the prize support that makes it feel like it's worth me putting the effort in, putting the time in, putting the money in. Even if I don't like end up doing particularly well, I had that chance and I didn't do well. It's my own fault.
Yeah.
And yeah, even if they wore back on all of the decisions, is there any reason to trust that they won't do it again?
Yeah, Darkasian is right there. It's something we've said. The stars, the players, if they just walk back on the decision, is there anything to actually just kind of like trust them and go with it? But it's one of the big things that I've been talking about with some other people as well is the world's invite and the travel vouchers don't matter. They're lovely, but the people that want to go to Worlds are going to go to Worlds regardless. The people that get those Worlds invites that don't want to go are not going to be swayed by just getting the invite. We saw it with Leo Savage, who won Nationals last year. He was all in line to go and then was unable to go. There's people like Nathan James who have consistently won Worlds invites and outrightly just say they don't want to go. They've got other stuff they'd rather do. So it's one of the things that it's all well good the company going, oh, you've still got a chance to get to Worlds. Like, that isn't as big as the draw as you think it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people don't seem to really be paying attention to. It's like, oh, but you've got this and you got that. No, like this year, 2025 has set the precedent of this level of prize support is for a local championship, which is intended to be a like competitive local.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes. And now do you expect us to consider that level of prize, like outside of the US, you expect us to consider that level of prize support to be
peak
regional level?
Yeah. The other thing to take into consideration is there's only 40 of these a season worldwide. So we don't even know how many of those we're going to get. If we only get one, that is just going to be an absolute nightmare on top of everything else.
Yeah. And like these are supposed to be sort of like one-day events. They're not meant to be like these big grandiose multi-day events with like a bunch of side events and things, which is what we're here for.
Yeah.
Like it's the community
Yes.
thing. Like we expect, we go to these events to spend time with people, not necessarily like the game could be like before the ban list. I was fine with the format. It wasn't my favorite, but there's lots of things you can do. But I wasn't particularly enjoying the format, and I was still excited to go to Glasgow because it was going to be, a event. It was going to be the community. I was getting to spend time with the people I like, and other people, I guess.
I'm just gonna put it
I
down.
wasn't aimed at you, Brett. Honest.
It's fine. I'm gonna go down the soppy emotional route of here. I feel where you're coming through with that. The bands are lovely. They're really nice to see. Disappointing with sweeping daggers because all my void decks had sweeping daggers because it's the only way you can kill in void. I've said from the beginning, I'm going to Glasgow to make content and see friends. I was planning on playing Sun Jin Woo from the start because I just wanted to have fun. Apparently, Sun Jin Woo's quite a good character, but that's the point. But I'd go further than saying we're going to see friends. I'd say, wait, even with the people we don't like, we're kind of family. Even if you don't like the people, you don't always have to like your family, but you love to see everybody there. You love this shared experience, the joy of the game.
Yep.
Yeah,
I am closer with the community for this game than I am with the vast majority of my family. Probably all of my family, if I'm being quite honest.
I speak to you more than I speak to my brothers. This is fair.
I don't remember the last time I spoke to my brother.
But yeah,
probably 4 months ago, maybe.
But that's just the kind of thing. We're close. The UK is a close knit community. I put it in for those people where rather than jumping online on Saturday and putting an angry video out there, I did a open letter to UVS. I sent it to 4 or 5 people to proofread and get feedback from. Every single one of them missed a basic spelling mistake, and it really annoys me now. Until Mike woke up and read it, was like, "You got a spelling mistake here." I was like, "God damn, I've already published it." But I digress. And I kind of put in there the EU community constantly shocks American people.
Name and shame. Name and shame.
No, I'm not in that aspect. In that we don't drop from the events, even if somebody's going 0-6, they still play the last round. And I mean, I will say when the information dropped, the information Connor did notice some spelling mistakes. He missed the big one, but I missed.
Yeah, but who missed boost and boast?
Yeah, I'm not going to name everyone I sent it to, but
name and shame them. Name and shame them.
Connor was one of them, but we don't drop from events. We play the events out. We have fun. We enjoy playing with each other. Even at the regionals level, we have the things of I've seen people allow takebacks that will let them that could almost get them killed. We've seen early game mistakes and people go, "Don't worry about it. It's early game stress." Or new players would just go, "No, you do what you need to do to have the optimal turn because we want you to enjoy this game." And it's something you don't see in other places. And I did experience a little bit of Albuquerque because it was the first time I played an event that wasn't Worlds, and it was really cool to see. But EU events just hit different. And in Oceania, I've heard Guile basically say Oceania plays UVS the way it's intended to be played. It's good, honest UVS. The interactions are there. The way that the game is played is there. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. And it's just really weird to see the support get cut when we've got staff members to talk about how amazing the community is. Like I said, they were all hyped up about the first Spanish event, and the Spanish players were motivated by that regional. They're coming to Glasgow. I was talking with some of the Spanish with one of the Spanish players yesterday, and he's not going to be at Glasgow, but they're sending their best players to Glasgow to come get these points, to come be part of see our side of the community, and then they didn't even know the news had dropped. Not a single one of them had known about this news, and I brought it up with them like, oh, yeah, they're still coming to Glasgow, but that's probably killed it. It's like, yeah, it probably has.
Well, I mean, that's a little funny considering they haven't, like the Spanish player is like what this work typically has been what this would have worked for best, because they haven't really, like, prior to now they haven't really traveled to events. They obviously they came out in force for their first regional, but they love this game more than anybody, man.
Oh yeah.
Like as soon in Alicante, as soon as like Swiss was over, they were beginning like side events and things, and jumping into seals and stuff, and playing like Spotlight, and going like just grinding side events so much that just could not get enough of it.
No, they've got. I mean, they're really
and like obviously that was their first event, so maybe they've got a taste for like the higher competitive side of things now. But yeah, they in the past, like this is all they had was local championships.
Well, that's just what you said. You hit the nail on the head there. They've had a taste of it. They've seen the regionals level. They've been able to go on stream. They've been able to meet the UVS staff. They've been able to have that aspect of it. And now they're coming to Glasgow. But in my like decades of playing card games and different card games, Italian players, French players, German players, Spanish players, they are so passionate. Once they put their time and effort into something, they get right behind it. But that passion comes as a double-edged sword. If you hurt them on this game, if you hurt the thing they're passionate about, they burn everything down with them, because they put their passion into it. They've put their drive, their time, their money. They've wanted to do really well and succeed at something. And now that they've had this taste of regional level play, and they're coming over to have more of it, and then essentially just being denied denied from the source, it's gonna hurt. Especially when they didn't even know about it until I told them about it.
Yeah, and again, that comes down to part of it of just being a quiet update on the website, and then a little post here and there, rather than like the big stuff that they did before with the announcement for next year's organised play.
And we got Lone saying that we kind of have reverse rule sharking, where we will tell people about rules they're about to break, about the way to make better lines of play in events. And Connor's blaming his dyslexia, which is fair. I blame my dyslexia for my bad spelling.
Oh. Yeah, and that's I don't know.
Do you think the Burning Godzilla compounded onto it because it was literally the same week? Like,
I mean, it may have had something to do with it, but like I said, as soon as that was confirmed to just be a preview card from the next set, I didn't care anymore.
Yeah. Some people did
everywhere. Yeah. Like different things have like alternate arts and things that are exclusive to different places. I didn't care that the a version of the wedding promos is only available at Is it PAX?
PAX, yeah.
At PAX, yeah. So I wasn't bothered particularly about that.
Well, the embroidered ones are better anyway.
Yeah, exactly. The ones we actually can get are better. But
the ones you can get, I can't get them. I need to find some webcam events.
Yeah, and like, well, as I say, like, I don't think the Burning Godzilla have had too much of an issue. But again, it still should have come out at the same time that it's an alternate art preview of the set, rather than it just stealth dropping on TCG Player and then later on, oh, here's some information about it.
Well, that's what I said in my video about it. I put in my video description that it was from the set. I was that confident about it. But when I was talking about, it's like the information should not have dropped a week later. It should be ready to go when TCG announces. We know everything that's going on. Apple saying that he lost in the first online nationals. His opponent did not know how to play Razorhead. He ended up teaching him how to play Razorhead as he lost. -1 wasn't exclusive, and after -1, when I went to Worlds, I spoke to UVS and I was told it wasn't going to happen anymore. The reason that the Bebop decks were almost limited to US only was because of licensing issues. So I was told UVS, after having to scramble to make sure we got Bebop, were going to be more careful with who they did deals with, and there was going to be no lot more regional exclusive mechanically unique cards like that, and everyone was going to have access to stuff that wasn't convention locked. And it seems like 2 years on, we're going backwards, and for every good decision UVS makes, there's two bad ones waiting to be found out about.
Yeah, it really does feel like that at the moment, and it's a shame because, as I say, I think we were gearing up for a really good year, and like I think that we were going to be moving forward to a very positive place, and it's just taken the wind out of all sails.
Yeah. We got White Raven Games asking, do we think Riftbound is to blame, at least in part, for non-US regionals being discontinued? Controversial. I don't know if Mike's going to have a go with this. I don't think Riftbound has had any impact on organized play for this year. I think the political climate, tariffs, the economy, everything that's going on over in America is more likely to impact it. And Riftbound could have been more of an asset if Riot would have allowed for some cross promotion. If we'd been able to have a little bit of universities at Riftbound events and a little bit of Riftbound at university events, it could have been a big boost. I mean, Worlds was changed to the Universal Championship, not the Universes. So we could have seen things for Star Trek Star Realms there. We could have seen things for Riftbound there. We could have seen things for all the other games that Universes has been doing there as well. And one of the things that I keep trying to get an answer on is what's happened to the TMNT Castle Panic and what's happened to Roll for It that were announced earlier this year. And it could just be, with everything going on over in America, that's the big outlier. And people might be quick to play Riftbound because it's the new game.
Oh boy. Here we go. I agree 100%.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah, I don't think Riftbound has anything to do with with the lack of events that we are getting. So you got to remember that, like, to begin with, Riftbound isn't made by UVS.
No.
They're helping with they're helping out with sort of like production and distribution and organized play. Yeah, sure. But they're not the ones that are spending all the money for it.
No,
like they are probably like they will I don't know how it works, but in my brain how it works is they are being paid by Riot to run the stuff for Riftbound and do it.
Yeah.
And then they get a small cut of sales and everything, and then the rest goes to Riot. So all that Riftbound really is to me is a cash cow. It's a way to influx more money into UVS Games, which is obviously a positive.
Yeah.
Now, and they hired people to do that for them. I know a lot of Josh's work was with Riftbound rather than necessarily UVS once that kicked into overdrive. But I guess I don't know where he is now. But yeah, I don't think it's. I think the bigger issue is that they've stretched as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've stretched themselves a little bit too thin. In the sense of they're trying to run both of these things, and by doing that, things are slipping through the cracks, and those things are the international players for their game. I mean, like maybe the Riftbound international players will have the same sort of issue in however long.
I mean, it's often one of the things that we're our passionate player base and Riftbound kind of do need to be aware. I don't think Riot would let that happen because one of the big things is if you find League of Legends, you'll find Riftbound. So you're always going to have those kind of events to rely on. But yeah, I think you're 100% correct. You're correct in there. Just Riftbound was a cash opportunity. They don't have anything to do with the design or the look, the real look of the cards. I mean, I know they have done some of the changes because I mean, like the printing's different. I've got the Chinese cards, I've got the English cards. The foiling is very different, and I need to edit a video I did on that. But it, as well as just being a way to get a bit more of an influx of cash, it was an advertising opportunity for UVS Games. It was a chance for them to get their names out into markets that would have overlooked them without Riot's name attached to them. And when people look at the catalogue of UVS Games and see Riftbound and then also see Universes, if Riftbound's not available, stores and distributors are going to go, well, let me pick up some Riftbound, some Universes and stock it in. Like, we'll build our relationship, we'll build this rapport. So when Riftbound comes back in, we can talk about it, we can get it in here as well. It became a way to kind of bolster Universes through the catalogue of Riftbound. And yeah, I think just one big thing is it's still a tiny company. And Riftbound has put a lot of pressure on them, especially with the pack product shortages and the like how quickly everything is sold out and how hard everything that's kind of just been going on has put a lot of burden on UVS as well as
Which is also a thing where I think they should use the resources they have more than they do. They have people like Sean who can do so much for them, and they don't utilize the resources that they have in a productive way.
yeah. I mean, you're saying, the community here treats it like family. If they came to us and we're just like we're gonna struggle with regionals out there, we're not gonna be able to do we're not gonna be able to send members of staff out. It's like cool. Let us know what you need. We can set up streams on our side and give you control of them. It's like, oh yeah, it's like the community. It's a two. We understand it's two-way kind of street. It isn't all just take from UVS. If they need our help to make events better, if they need our help to run events out here, we would do that. We don't even need to. We would do it just for the love of the game. And I know I've been hearing stories about how hard Sean has had to fight over the years just to keep Patriot running the game. And to not utilize such a passionate resource whenever you kind of just need the help, just seems like they're worried we will try and take advantage of it. Maybe.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I couldn't really say.
Slight tangent. Do you think Magic Universes Beyond has had an impact on UVS? Not particularly. We like the same saying Union Arena and like Vice Sports and stuff. It's like,
I'm gonna say yeah.
oh really?
Where's my turtle set to?
I mean, they haven't really got anything to work with yet until the next movie drops. So maybe 2027, 2028.
Sure, but there's plenty of other turtles they could use.
I mean, there is, but we don't. It's that Wakanda thing of we don't do that here. We don't really.
I can't hear anything from you. Very quiet.
My mic seems to be having a bit of an issue.
Yeah, your mic's gone like almost silent.
What has happened here? Why did we even let's no. What is going on? What in the world? Yeah, I can just see. Yeah, my mic's really strong. Let's move it a bit. Is that better?
Like a little bit, but it's still a lot quieter than you were.
What is happening? How's that?
Good one, Connor.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I've just boosted the master gain on here, and now see if I can boost the master gain on here. Because apparently my mic just decided to. Right, it's at 300%. That's as high as it'll go.
Well, you're audible now. No,
Yay!
Apple, I can't. I'm not a host. I can't host. I don't want to.
It's like using your webcam. Like, no, that's the thing. I've checked. It is linked to. This is the webcam mic, and that is way too loud. Sorry. And then this is this mic. And I'm sorry for blowing people's ears out there. I forgot it was at 300% volume. But what were we talking about? Universus Beyond.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, people in MCG love to complain about it, and
oh, you've gone really loud now.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, god damn, that was loud. There we go. I don't know what the hell has happened there, but it fixed itself. Yeah. I'll fix it for you now, Mike.
Edit that.
Yeah,
edit that in post. Edit that in post.
No, I don't edit this. This is the podcast goes up unedited. I only edit the pre-recorded stuff, so I don't sound as silly. But anyway, yeah. Loud noises indeed. But yes, I mean, I get it in some ways because there's more fight for IPs, if that makes sense. Because before we kind of like had a monopoly on multi-IP card gaming, but now we have to fight for K-pop Demon Hunters or Demon Slayer or Fairy Tail or like any of these kind of things. Magic's and Street Fighter, so we now have to fight for these IPs, whereas we were the only ones doing it before.
Oh, I think you're back.
Oh yeah, so I was just ranting about the fact that more companies have kind of picked up to the business model that we had exclusively for like 15 years.
Yeah, no, I think the bigger thing than necessarily Universus Beyond having an effect is actually the model that UVS seem to be going by. where they are either not revisiting licenses or visiting them too often. So like they'll do, like we had 6 MHA sets, and then for a while it was a bunch of different IPs, and then it was 3 Attack on Titan sets almost back to back.
Yeah.
And then now we've just got, so this year we've got Critical Role, Guilty Gear, and Turtles as new releases. But we've not got any of them again next year.
No.
We had Star Trek we had the Star Trek decks at the end of last year. Not seen anything from Star Trek since. We've had Solo Leveling at the start of the year. We're now seeing the experience bundles, but not any further adaptation. So, like, the idea is that, you know, you get all these IPs, bring in your favorite IP, brings you into the game, and then it's a one and done.
Yeah.
And it's just not, that doesn't hold people. Like, yes, the game will hold people eventually, but there's got to be something for them to look forward to.
So do you think Attack on Titan would have been better if they'd spaced it over 3 years? So we had like Battle for Humanity last year, Origins of Power this year, and then Apocalypse next year. So the Attack on Titan fans.
I don't think Attack on Titan worked, but that's more of a design standpoint. So I don't think it did what it could have done. Like, I am a huge Attack on Titan fan. I've watched the series fully about 3 times, and 2 of those times were since the set 1 came out. So, you know, I've watched a lot of Attack on Titan, and it gets better every time I watch it. And I love seeing, like, those moments from the anime in manga form on a card. And it's really cool. But the problem is that the cards had such a negative thing to them with all these changes that any Attack on Titan fan who would come in and be like, oh, I love Attack on Titan, that they will immediately be hit with a wall of, oh, I hate Attack on Titan, this is the worst set ever, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it hurts in that regard. So I don't think whatever they did with the cards that came in Attack on Titan would have worked for what we're talking about. If it was designed differently, I think 1 per year would have been better, yes. Or maybe 1 at the start, 1 at the end, and then 1 at the middle of the following year, if you got to have it in that sort of period of time. So there's at least a different set between each.
Similar to Origins of Power and Apocalypse. So you like break it up with other stuff. So
break it up with something else. And it's like, huge Tekken fans. Sure, I couldn't care less about fighting games in the slightest, but I know some people do. And Tekken is a popular fighter. We got the decks, October 24?
Yeah.
And then we got the promos at the same time. And all of 2025 is nothing. And then we're finally going to get something in 2026.
Similar to how we got the Critical Role in March 2024 and Godzilla in July 2024. And now we saw Critical Role the year after. And now we're seeing Godzilla. And we got the King
2026.
In 2026, we got the King of Fighters Experience Bundle, and now we're getting the King of Fighters challenges like a few months later.
Well, that's not as bad because that's closer.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing you'd want more of, as opposed to like the 18 months that. Well, not even that.
It's like, so we're getting Fairy Tail at the end of next year.
Yeah.
So let's say we get a bunch of new people who are like massive Fairy Tail fans, so they buy in and they play the game and they look at what's going to be released in 2027 and there's no Fairy Tail. They're not committed to stick with the game because they're not in love with the game yet.
Do you think
they're
that's
in love with the license?
Yeah. Do you think that's what's happened to the attendance of our events? Because one of the things I was talking about is The first regionals we did, we had almost 120 people, and its attendance has only gone down since then. And the community hasn't changed. We're still as nice and as lovely to everyone we meet as possible. So there's got to be other factors that are driving players away.
Yeah, I mean, the change from MHA only is definitely going to have an impact on that. We always knew that was going to happen, just because, you know, a lot of people joined for MHA and love MHA. So some would leave just based off of that in general anyway. I know some people left because of rotation. Some left. I think it's just compound of like a lot of bad decisions. Well, not even bad decisions, but like I know that the Yu Yu Hacker Show set put a lot of people off because the art was just screen grabs from a very old anime. And I know I've been showing you some of the Union Arena stuff that they've done for Yu Yu Hacker Show, and that is amazing. And then like, you know, we got the big change. We got the Bill Stark talking down to everyone about mental load, and from there, it put a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And then suddenly, AOT is like the biggest changes ever, and changes a lot of core concepts of the game. And I think it's just compounding on a lot of things like that that just turn people away.
Yeah,
And the lack of promotion for the game. And I'm not even speaking like specifically EU or OCE, but even in the US, they used to be everywhere, and now they just do Gen Con.
I mean, they had a 500-person national at one point, and now they're celebrating 200 attendance regionals. They've had a massive decline in players themselves.
Yeah, and as I think they're just not. I think we're at a point where they are just not doing what they need to do.
The turnover's too high. We're losing more players for the changes than we're keeping with the changes.
Yeah, and that's gonna happen. I mean, that's gonna happen in general. Like Rift, like even with Riftbound, you're gonna have let's say the first international event is capped at 1,000 ish players. What most events tend to do 1024. So let's say it's 1024. That'll probably sell out really quickly.
They did. Houston sold out.
Yeah, but like I'm so currently just international.
Oh, okay. So for me, America is international for Riftbound because China's the main hub.
Yeah, but you know what
yeah, I know. Like if they did one at France during the big TFT event that's happening in December.
Yeah, let's say it was a 1024 event. That'd probably sell out in less than half an hour.
Yeah,
and then maybe the next event doesn't sell out, or does but takes longer, and then it's going to go down from there and there and there, just because that's the nature. Everyone tries a new thing, and then boom, they don't stick after the boom period, and then move on to whatever the next probably new Bandai game is.
Yeah, but I mean, Riftbound's got its own level of issues. I mean, none of our players have ever threatened a judge with a chair, so
I'm not going to worry about that too
much. I mean, Riftbound is an incredibly competitive game. There's already been cheating scandals, like I said, people threatening people with chairs, and the cash prizing is out there. It's a weird comparison, but I get the comparison kind of thing, but the MHA boom was great, but I think you have
that's not even true though, Connor. Where like the numbers have been fairly similar since before. I mean, no, the numbers are still a lot higher than they were pre MHA. They are a lot better off than they were. It's just not. quite as big of a gap now.
It's also a lot harder to keep up with production costs and employee costs and like you say, the economy out there. Any kind of tanking in sales hits a lot harder. I mean, Funko's saying that they might have to stop being a company because they had a 14% dip in sales. It's a rough time to be a collectible company. It's I think one of the things you have hit on the head is just the IPs being one pump done kind of issues, because players come in, they go, I love Attack on Titan, I'll play the game, they hear the feedback, and even if they fight through the feedback, they go, cool. It's like, cool, yeah, but if you want to make that deck competitive, you need to get these turtle cards or these Yu Hakusho cards. It's like, oh, cool, but I don't care about those IPs. Is there any way I can just play my Attack on Titan cards? Like, you can, but you're not going to have as much fun as you could. I don't know. I think what with the news and like they say, with the lack of response from UVS over the weekend, because like I said, they're closed. They're technically off work, but if it was a high priority, you make time.
Yeah, I imagine if it was the US, if it was something like the US players were making a fuss about, and all the pitchforks are out and whatnot, there'd probably have been some sort of response like, oh, we'll get back to, we'll address this next week. But otherwise, oh, it's just international players. That it is fine.
I mean, the majority of American players have been very sympathetic, but they've not been as angry as they would be if it was them.
Yeah, which is fair. I'd be angry. I'd be the same. I'd be supportive of if something was completely effed up for like the American player base, but I wouldn't be as angry.
No,
because I can't be, because it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I think one of the big issues is we are just going to get very apathetic about it, because we're used to being like the punching bags.
And that's the worst way to be.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what UVS don't want right now. They do not want us to be apathetic.
They don't want us to be apathetic?
No. They want us to be passionate. They want us to care. And if we're apathetic, then we'll just, it's just whatever. We stop caring. The moment we stop caring is the moment there's a problem.
Yeah. But the more passionate we are, the more we're going to fight to try and get the regionals, and the more likely we are to become apathetic. It's the 5 stages of grief kind of thing. We got angry. We got very angry on there. We haven't had a chance to bargain because there's no people to bargain with. I'm blanking on one of the stages.
How do they know that we even listened to anything? How do they know that they paid attention?
Yeah.
If there's zero acknowledgement. We don't. They could think that it's all fine and dandy and everyone's happy.
No, they don't. Actually, not
I'm sure.
But
I am sure they have seen stuff. But like, how do I know that?
Yeah, you got that lovely anxiety denial. That's the one. You got denial from Karen. But yeah, you got that anxiety of your head of I didn't even notice it. I think because you found out quite early, and then you told me, and I found out quite early, we went through denial very quickly. Of like, it doesn't matter until it's official. I went through denial. I was like messaging. I was going through that. I was like talking, and I was talking with Charles. Like, it's not real until it's announced. And it's like, oh, it's days away, and then it drops like the same day. I'm like, this isn't days away.
Yeah, I mean, like I had a very unproductive day at work on Friday because of it. Like, going through the 5 stages of grief. I think I definitely spent a little bit too much money on some fancy old tart Snorlaxes for the old Snorlax collection. Hey, I got it for a third of the price on an eBay auction, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I did the same kind of thing. I had a whole list of things I wanted to record. I wanted to start getting into December content, and I just committed. And then I tried to record a Sun Jiwoo game, and apparently OBS only recorded the TTS table. It didn't record any of the cards, and I don't even know how it did that. I'm kind of impressed by that. But yeah, and then I found a Riftbound Proving Grounds for RRP, and that was like my high moment of the weekend of going, hey, I found a product for the quoted price. I don't have to spend the 70 quid online.
Yeah, and that's like, as Connor and Lone are saying, like, there's a lot. Every announcement comes with a lot of knee-jerk overreactions for the most part, and they sure as heck do.
Yeah.
Which is why I've tried to avoid publicly saying anything too much, because I wanted to take the time to really digest it. And man, it's still a whole load of S-word.
For me, my knee-jerk reaction wasn't wrong. My anger wasn't wrong. I have probably the unpopular opinion in the community of my issue was the celebration. My anger was around the celebration. And because it was hyped up, it was told that regionals were going to be the celebration of the community, the exclusives, the panels, and so on. And my logic brain did say it isn't going to happen for us. But I held on to that copium. I tagged Steve on the main Discord. The fact that on the UVS website, it still said regionals are a worldwide celebration of the game where you can play at a high level. I was like, see, it says worldwide on the website. They've just remodeled the website. Why would they leave that there if they've just remodeled the website? And then to be told, yes, we're going to have these massive celebrations with artists and voiceover and voice actors and exclusive panels of staff members and exclusive reveals that we had at the regionals where they found out about the roadmap a week ahead of everybody else. And then to be told, yes, but anyone outside the US, you're not invited. Fucking sucks.
Yep, enjoy your glorified locals.
Yes, and that was my knee-jerk reaction. That was the thing I focused, like my focus point on anger. And I know you do a very good job of, like, when I have my knee-jerk reactions going, don't make content yet, or like cycling through like if I've got a good point or not. But for that one, I was like, no, I don't need approval from friends or community members for this. This is not a good thing. This is a joke, and I need to be angry about this right now. I need to go on Discord and shout at people because it ruined my. I had Flynn stayed up till 11 o'clock that night because I just didn't have the mental load to put him to bed, and he spent the extra 2 hours he was awake cuddling me because he could physically feel the upset anxiety and anger coming off me. And he kept going, "Are you okay, Dad?" I'm like, "I'm fine, bud," but he knew I wasn't, and I'm still in the depressive state, and it just I don't know how
I have a.
Well,
sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I just don't know if the company can actually come back from this. If there's anything that the company can say or do that would make the international communities go, okay, it's all right now, because it wasn't announced, it was dropped, it wasn't told to us. It was corporate speak of what we deserve or what the peak of our organized play would be. It wasn't explained. It wasn't given to us, or we didn't get the respect that we have earned putting up with this treatment for the last 3 years. And as much as I have been like commending UVS's communication and upfrontness since the beginning of the year, this is a massive letdown.
Oh, I mean, I really appreciate the Animal Farm quote that you've been going around with.
It's the
Quite
best
a
one.
lot. We are all equal, but some of us are more equal than
Yeah,
others.
it's the first thing that came into my head. It perfectly describes it.
It's like, I was like, this hasn't just affected like UVS for me though. This has affected like other things, like in terms of like my hobbies and things like that. Like I said earlier, I spent a lot of money on Riftbound.
Yeah.
I have a stack of very expensive Riftbound cards here that arrived on Thursday. That I was excited to go to my first locals on Saturday for it. And instead, what happened was I stayed up until 2 a.m. Saturday morning, being really pissed off and upset at the fact that they would do something like this and disrespected, most of all. And then I went to sleep and woke up feeling like crap and was like, yeah, I'm not going.
Yeah,
And maybe I won't even play a full stop now.
there was a release event an hour away from me that I was talking to Robin about going to because I wanted to take on the game, and I just literally woke up and said, "Yeah, I'm not going. I can't be bothered." I went for a walk with Flynn, and I played some games on my phone. I've not touched content, and like I said in Discord, I've got content up until the end of like November pre-done. If I make more, depends on how my attitude adjusts. I probably will, but it depends on if it's going to be Universus. But yeah, we've got Dreckerson saying that Glasgow's going to be his first and last event. Apple, this thing, it was disrespectful when it was communicated in a way that we had to explain it to people. That's going back to Corin just being like, they didn't say that. It's like, no, they did, and we had to break it down what that actually meant. Jonathan still believes that it's not confirming no regionals. And it's like, but they've clarified it on Discord that it does. It, yeah, it. Like I said, it spills over into other aspects. Like not even just limited.
As I say, I'm huffing copium that we are all overreacting, and it's not as bad as we think. It's not as crap as it looks. And you know what? I hope I'm wrong. I hope that we're all wrong. I hope that we all have egg on our face and we all have to apologize to UVS for overreacting. I want that. I would love that, and I will happily do that.
If this happens, I will happily invite Paul in here for me to publicly apologize to him on like live on stream or like live recorded. I will happily do that.
I will join you.
But I don't think it will, because if you take out local championships and you shove regional level prizing on there, that's when the coin flips and the Americans get annoyed. If we can get backups from a local championship, they're not going to be happy about it.
No, and I don't think that should be for a local championship. That's fine. That should be for a regional, but we should have them.
Yes. Even if they just flip the scripts and going, okay, there's going to be local championships, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do those outside of America, but regionals are going to be outside of America. Works better. We can do our own little Star Championship celebrations, but yeah, as Russell said, they need to stop. First of all, they need to stop calling them local championships. They're not local. It's so weird that we have regionals, that we have like local championships that are regions of the game. We had nationals that were entire continents of the game. The naming system of this game is so weird.
So, I know the chat scroll saying that we don't need to apologize for if we are wrong, sort of things like that. But here's the thing. I'll just take Apple's comment.
Yeah.
You don't have to apologize. At the end of the day, they're still to blame for how it has been communicated. Sure, yeah, it's been communicated horrendously. But as someone who is respectful of other people, Apple, if I'm wrong, I'm going to apologize and accept that I've been wrong to that person that I've been wrong to. And that's the difference between us and the way UVS Game are treating us right now.
Yeah, if we've
Is the fact they are being very disrespectful.
If we've overread and overlooked, if we've overlooked into what this comic actually means because of how vague it was, that's a reflection of how we've been treated by the company, really. And if they are able to backtrack, if they are able to go, no, we never meant that. This is what we meant, and they go and they do that. Yeah, it's again as a sign of respect because we've caused so much trouble because we've incited like a bad element of the community. I'll happily apologize. I've got no issues apologizing if I'm wrong because I have respect for the community. And if I've misconstrued information, if I put the letter everywhere, and if that letter's wrong, then I owe it to the community to apologize.
Yeah, and like Connor says, if it's a 180. Now, if it's a 180, there's no apologizing. That's not what I'm saying. We're saying if we have read it wrong because of the poor communication.
Yes.
And the way it's been handled.
If we've inferred what that message said wrong, and Jonathan and Corin are right, and they never said we won't get regionals, then we're wrong. But similar to the half Swiss, half draft situation last year, if UKVersus does a 180, they don't get a pat on the back for doing the right thing. They get a don't let it happen again and communicate better like they did then.
Yeah, no, Connor, no gaslighting. You want to get flowers if you do the right thing in the first place.
Yes, that's the whole thing.
You don't get a star on the board for taking a shit on the floor and then cleaning up after yourself.
If the game
shit on the floor.
If the game was a year old, if we were still going through teaming issues, if this was a brand new game with a brand new team that was still trying to break the markets, then maybe. But this is a 20-year-old game with as they put in their OP video, some of the best producers, casters, and designers in the market. So this kind of stuff shouldn't happen to begin with. And human error is a thing, but you don't get, as you said, flowers for fixing your own mistakes. What you do get is the people not quitting.
Yeah, well, and even if you do get that at this point, because I was like, how many times you burned it too much?
I mean, the majority of times...
I think some people will quit because of that.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a downtake. And I'll be blunt, I don't think the IPs are strong enough next year to hold these people. Maybe some of the dobbers, because they're massive fighting game people. But with a lot of our players, I mean, they don't really care. A lot of people just want to play the game. And we want to play the game. We want to play the game with people that we love and in a community that we love at a level where we feel respected. And every aspect of that now has just been told, no. You get to play with the people that will make up the numbers. And you'll get to play at a level we tell you get to play at, which is based on what we think you deserve. And
you have to apply to be able to play at that level.
Yes, and it could be anywhere, because it's not all stars will get it, so the stars have to apply for it, and if the players are apathetic, like you said, they're not going to do it. I don't know how they expect to come back from this internationally when you've got things like One Piece and Gundam and even like and whole new Naruto TCG and Union Readers.
How real is that going to be though?
I know, but
it's some random Italian company. I don't.
Okay, fine, but Union Readers just picked up Haikyuu, which is an absolutely massive fan base. Magic's going into a huge year, and Hasbro have just made a partnership with Mattel for K-pop Demon Hunters, so you know Magic's part of that deal. It has to be. other companies are getting stronger in what we do, and we're turning away players who want to play.
Yeah, yeah, it does. And I don't think there's anything much more we can really say other than challenge them to fix it.
Lone MHA is only a challenger next year. The sets next year are Godzilla, Tekken, and Fairy Tail. But yeah, the whole situation's rough, and I don't even think if we do get anything on it, it won't be till the end of the week. And even then, they might not want to overshadow the solo leveling release with the stuff. Uh,
The longer they leave it, the worse it is.
yeah,
That's as simple as it is.
yeah.
The longer they stay silent, the longer they do not acknowledge anything. It's the longer they hold out on not saying anything, the worse it is, and the harder it is for them to come back from it.
If they haven't said anything by Glasgow, I feel really bad for Guile because he's just going to be inundated with people asking about it. And
yeah, exactly, Lone. Like, you've got three people into the game. That's awesome. I love that for you. And you almost getting a fourth. But like, how can you onboard her if if there isn't anything for you to onboard them to?
Card Goblin, the people that sell our singles, the people that have come out to support the community, to help us grow, to like having a singles vendor at regionals has helped make them feel more like competitive events, in my opinion. Like, you don't just show up and play a tournament. You've got the singles vendor. You've got like it has the look more of a higher class event, and they're struggling to justify keeping universities with this news because they've got other games that they need to support now, and it does suck because Richard and Tom and everyone love this game. They love the community, but they need to think of their store first now. And
yeah, exactly.
It's Apple's right. We should. I think the people in our community will leave Guy alone, but he'll still be asked about it. I don't think Glasgow will be a shit show. I think people, if nothing's been said by them, people would be sad. People would be depressed, but it would be a wake for the community.
Like, when we say, like, the thing is, when we're talking about, like, it's going to be bad for Gal and all this sort of thing, it's more a case of the amount of people that are going to have negative things to say to him about the company, not about Guile himself, not about Guile being there or anything like that, purely about how crap UVS Games have handled this.
And there's going to be passive aggressiveness to our American friends that are coming over as well, because even if we know it's not about them, they've got what we want. So there's going to be some like subconscious jealousy going on there, and it's just a shitty situation. This event coming into Glasgow should be hype. We should be happy about it. We should be getting ready to play with friends and hang out with our people traveling from all over the world to come take part in this event. I know Zane was originally planning to come to this event as well, but some stuff got in the way. That would have been absolutely amazing. And it feels like the wind has just completely died from how hype people were.
Yeah, 100%. The wind's been taken out of all the sales for this event, and the only people that UVS can blame are UVS themselves.
Yeah, as Apple said, it sucks having a lot of US players coming over when the community is not going to be in their best attitude. It's not going to be a good reflection of what the community is actually like here.
I'm sure it will still be a good time, and we will all still have a good time, but it won't be related to the game.
No.
It'll be about the people who are in the room,
I mean,
the people that are there in general.
yeah, the game has always been secondary in that aspect. It's always been about the people in the room. It's about having fun, and yeah, it take. I mean, it when you bubble, when you don't get to top, the people that are the ones that help you like have fun, like not get bogged down by it.
Yep.
But it's going to be a somber event. I'm going to take Flynn to school tomorrow morning, so I think we'll wrap up. Thanks for jumping. Thanks for jumping on, Mike. I know that you did, like you were saying, you were very melancholic about everything that now. So I do appreciate.
Yeah, I'm in a little bit of better mood because I've spent the last few hours binging this most recent season of Only Murders in the Building.
Where are you up to?
I'm halfway through episode 9.
Ooh, you're getting close to the end then.
Yeah. Like I'd watched the first 3 episodes when they dropped, and then I've just been binging too much Crit Roll to keep up with it.
We also did have like extra depression this week because we got to episode 91 of campaign 3, so it's not been a great week.
Yeah. The smiley day was very much not smiley day.
It's a frowny day. And then I'm not gonna get. I think I've just finished episode 92. 93. No, I've just finished episode 93.
What? I've taken over you again? Yeah.
What, you're 94 now?
I think I'm on 95.
And then Dorian's brother gets like ganked, and you're like, stop with the emotions.
See, that didn't really affect me too much.
I had well, that's because you hadn't watched EXU. You weren't as like attached.
Yeah, Bria sucks as a DM.
But yeah, you weren't as attached to the Crown Keepers. I mean, his brother was only in the second half of it, but yeah, the whole fight going on there was so hard. But after FCG, I had to like take a couple of days before the next. You did definitely overtake me.
Yeah. And I'd say I think it probably hit us more because we know what Sam went through as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, so all the depression this weekend, all the sadness.
I mean, Connor, you could have come on and swore either way, but yeah. I
mean, I could swear more if you wanted, Connor, but
I didn't actually expect us to even go like this long on it with it on honesty, but because the TLDR, if you just like skip the entirety of what we were talking about and get to this point, is the situation sucks, and the longer they leave it, the more depressed we're gonna get about it. They need to tomorrow drop something, or just do something to show that the international community does care. But in all honesty, I don't think there's anything they can do to fully get the trust of the community back.
No, they got to earn it. They've got to earn it back. They have to earn it back. Like, it's as simple as that. But the first step is fixing it.
Yes.
And whether it's an easy fix or not, that's not my problem. That's not our problem as players. It's their problem as a company. And they need to fix it. And then if they need help fixing it, come to us, ask. You've DM'd us about lesser things before. So ask, get in touch, reach out.
Sean is there to help. I'm here to help. Mike's here to help. The community is here. And as much as we joke and mess about, if you wholeheartedly come and say, what can we do to make it better? You will get people in there being angry, but there will be people that will wholeheartedly tell you what they want and what they can do. I can't personally think of anything that could do it at this time, but then I'm also very numb from the news. In terms of what you're saying, Jocasson, how effective do you think their Q&A is going to be in terms of fixing the relation? It's not. They're taking and ask me anything. They're going to answer the questions. This isn't going to lead to these are answers. They're not solutions. This is their way of gauging what we want to be important, which is why I made sure to put in there that the celebration was what was upsetting me, and why there was such a disparity between the information being released and when the information was clarified on. And yeah, the majority, and there's also like Scott and Connor in there still going on about the belt.
I thought Connor was like, I am so dumb. I thought Connor was going to mention Burning Godzilla.
And no, it's the belt. Burning Godzilla.
I should have known it was going to be. I should have known it was going to be the belt. It's always the belt.
It is always the belt.
But for some reason, I thought it was going to be Burning Godzilla.
Yeah, no, like I think it's been nice if Connor had access to the promo. He would appreciate access to the promo, but a lot of the anger did go away because it's just a reprint of a card in the set. Having access to it would have been nice. It would have been cool, but the belt is really what he's angry about.
Is it under your bed, Connor? Is it under your bed? That's the only thing I can think of where it would
don't get me wrong, Apple. You're still like MVP of the year, even though that was part of the organized play of last year for those team events. But yeah, anyway, we're getting distracted. We need to wrap up. I need to go sleep. Thanks for being here, Mike. I know you don't appreciate. I know you don't like being on content that much. So I do appreciate you being here.
So let's just end as we want. UVS Games, be better, fix this, acknowledge us, be like the crowd for Roman Reigns, acknowledge us, and just give us something.
And I'll end it the same.
Give us a reason to care.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
I'm just gonna end it the same way I ended my open letter. The most important thing to everyone in this community is getting to play this game. The biggest prize in Top Cuts is getting to play another round of this game. We want to play the game, and you've taken an event from us. You've taken a way for us to play the game at a high level and said you don't deserve this. And that sucks. We want to play the game. You make this game, you distribute this game, and we love this game. So please, just let us play the game.
Let me win a backup.
And let Mike win a backup, specifically.
Yes, that's all we want.
Let him take on his Jaegerist follower dreams.
Nah, I'd be a Marley soldier just because no one plays it. Just like all my other trump cards.
That's fair. But right, and we're going to leave it there. Thanks everyone in chat for talking it through. Thanks to everyone for your opinions, your thoughts, the absolute love for how everyone else is feeling and the understanding. For anyone who's watching us on YouTube, who has been chatting on Discord and has been giving condolences, and to everyone that's reached out just to like say the situation sucks. I know even our friends in Canada, like Garrett Brett and stuff, have been feeling this thing of not having regionals in their areas, even though they're just up the road from America. We feel it. We all kind of feel it out there. There's a lot of people that play this game, big names, small names, medium names, that want to just be able to play this game and experience the same distribution of events that we saw this year. And I really hope UVS taken on board and are able to do something about it to, as Mike said, earn the trust back of the players. So give Mike his backup. Let us play the game.
No, don't give it me. Let me earn it.
Let Mike beat the pants off everyone in the UK, Italy, Austria, Germany, and Spain to get his backup. And just, so let's play at a level that we've earned the right to play at. supported this game through the darkest times. We've supported this game through every bad decision, good decision, terrible decision. We've put up with the ever rotating staff members and OP systems and distribution systems, and even the flooding of products. And we've bared with it all, being told it's going to get better each year, and this year is no way getting better.
Yeah, I think he broke again. Hi, everybody.